Bismillahirrahmanirrahim wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillahil karim wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Welcome to the first episode of our channel People of the Cave. This is your brother Masked Muslim Islam.
And this is your brother and host Shadman from the episode 1 of the People of the Cave. As this is our first episode, we will spend some time to introduce ourselves to all of our listeners. Today we have with us actually two masked brother. One you cannot see, he's behind the scene, and in some time in the future you can.
He is meditating.
Actually, he is meditating. Yeah. That's a good point you bring up. So so now we will just know each other and
let's introduce ourselves. So Salman, tell something about yourself.
So as you already know that I am your brother and host Shadman, and brother in humanity, also brother in Islam. So now that you know my name and what I represent, let's talk about our identity. How about that?
Yeah, I am a college student currently in junior year, and you, Sadhu?
So I'm currently, I'm a college student, but I don't know what my standing is right now. It can be junior or senior, I don't know.
Inshallah, we'll get to know each other, like our audience and about us in future episodes.
In near future, inshallah.
So what is with this name, People of the Cave?
So as you said, so to answer the first part of the question, which is why do we refer our channel as the People of the Cave, right? So People of the Cave actually refers to a chapter 18, referred to a chapter in the Quran, chapter 18 in the Quran, and that's the name of the chapter is Surah Al-Kahf, which is actually means People of the Cave.
For the people who doesn't know what is a Quran is, for the non-Muslims or other people, Quran is what Muslims believe in a revelation from the God, and it is the literal word of God Himself, Almighty, one God only. All right, and continue.
It's pretty perfectly preserved from the time that it was revealed.
Yep.
So now, if you don't know, now you know. So that's a good segue. So now the second part of the question, so why we are the people of the cave, right?
What does it represent? Like, why cave? Why not something else?
Yeah, exactly. So,
and what is this story about you mentioned in the Quran?
So now, as you know that so among these there are actually various stories mentioned in the Surah Al-Kahf or in the chapter 18. So one of the most prominent of them, the name the surah was actually came up. One of the prominent story is that there was a king who was a tyrant king, and then there was a number of young people. They are the youth of the society at that point, and the king was very tyrant, and he persecuted people who followed the religion of Islam at that point in time.
What do you mean? What do you mean religion?
So actually, you want to mention like why Islam was there back then, and how do you?
From the story that I read, it pretty much sums up that they were worshipping one God. The adults or kids or teenagers, whatever you want to say, the teenagers are trying to follow their own wills, trying to follow what makes sense to them. But the king was forcing them to believe in other gods, or maybe
basically
gods.
Committing polytheism.
Yeah, maybe the king forced them to worship himself as a king, as a god. Yeah.
So at that point, those youth. I don't want to mention the number because in Quran
it doesn't specify.
Yeah, specify, and also Allah, like the God. By the way, the Arabic for God is basically Allah, which is came from Al-Ilah, which is the only God. Just to make sure that you guys understand.
I also want to clarify that the God in English is not the same as Allah, because Allah means like there can be only one God. That's it. The Allah itself is the meaning come itself. As one God, but English word the God has other connotation Yeah,
God has goddess, and
goddess, gods.
God can be gods.
But in Arabic, it cannot be plural or like feminine, or it's not even like masculine. It's just Allah.
So if you really want to translate the God in Arabic from Allah to English, you would say the only God, basically.
Yeah.
Right. This is how you basically translate it.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
All right. Going back to the story.
Yeah. So going back to the story, those youth, they actually wanted to get away from the king because he was persecuting those youths who are not following the king but following the will of Allah. And so they wanted to be protected by Allah, and so they ran away from that society where all the bad things were very prevalent, and then they took refuge inside a cave, right? So Allah told us in the Quran that He put those youth to sleep, right? And that's how Allah protected those youth from that fitna, or how do you say fitna in English, Riham? Like
from corruption.
The corruption in the
society.
In the society, actually, yeah, that's how Allah protected them. So, do you want to compare this to our name, Riham, or?
Yeah, I just want to mention some few things like those youth that he mentioned. They were not following the social trend. For example, right now we just going to TikTok, we just going to Instagram, we just going to Facebook, and then see all the people are liking, and then we post something about it just to be recognized by people.
There is a recent trend. I'm probably old if you see what I'm talking about. Like there was a bottle cap challenge or something. Like someone
That's
kicking.
pretty old, bro.
Yeah. So So this is why I'm just bringing
just
it up.
An example. Yeah.
So. See, I didn't know that much trends because we are the people of the cave, because we don't follow the trends of the society. Because for us to follow the will of the Allah is the most important, and that's why I think we consider ourselves kind of like the people of the cave, and we put our protection to the hands of Allah instead of like following the trends of the society. Obviously, we follow the law of the lands, but not the trends. If you can differ between trends and law, Riham, do you want to explain this?
I would say that trend is necessarily not always bad. We are just saying that when you follow a trend, think before you follow it. Does it really apply to you, or you are just following because of peer pressure? Or
exactly.
Yeah. Law, we already signed up with our government that we are going to follow the law, and that we have an agreement, and we agree to that. But trend, you have a will. You have a will to follow or not to follow. But what we see most of the time, the people are struggling with their identity, and they just follow what other people are doing.
Exactly.
So that's why we are focusing on. You should always reason yourself with it before you follow it, and that's what they did. When all the peoples are following it, when they had families, they had other cousins, all of them were following it. But those youths chose to leave everything they had, and then chose to follow their own will, which is
not really own will, like the Allah's will, basically.
Yeah, that's their reasoning was that there can be only one God, and these people are forcing us to follow it. And if you really claim that there are other gods, then prove it. But the king started to persecute them, so they took refuge in a cave.
Exactly.
And this is our cave. That's,
as you can see.
Yeah, this is metaphorically our cave where our audience, you guys, and we can share our own feelings, our own
thoughts. And how our life in the society is going. And we are the same as you guys, but we want to learn from you too. Like you have to teach us too. We are not learned people. We are not scholar in any shape, way, or form. So we are here to learn from you. At the same time, we are trying to convey the message that you are special. God created you in a special way, right? So honor
even
that.
even people who doesn't believe in God,
Yeah.
they would still agree that you are also unique. Your gene is the unique in all the universe.
Yeah, think about that. Your thumb, your fingerprint is not gonna match with another fingerprint, right? And there is also the retina thing, right? Your retina is
Yep.
the unique of the whole world. So
Exactly.
if you think about this kind of thing, who could make an algorithm that could generate this many like who could actually make this kind of design that could generate this huge amount of billions of people who came before us, who came after us, who will come after us, and but they are all unique in their own identity. So now what we are saying is this: basically we're gonna preserve this identity, not like put ourselves in a flow and just go with the flow. Always try to think, and
Yeah.
this is why we are here. We are trying to make you guys brainstorm with us and talk about our society, probably some issues that gonna come up tomorrow in the newspaper, and we are definitely gonna talk about these kind of things. And besides that, as you know, we are Muslims, so we are going to convey and portray our religion. So definitely we have to be responsible in that sense, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with him, all of them, but I just want to add that all the things that we see in the news, you see, maybe we can cover also technologies, maybe sports, all of them. You always see all those podcasts covering all of this, but here you're gonna test a flavor of people of the cave version of all of them. You're gonna test a flavor of like Muslimness in a kind of sense.
Yeah, how a Muslim is basically responding to the society and the current society. And yeah, pretty much that's about the people of the cave.
Yeah, I just also want to add that most of the time you always see that there are injustices going on. For example, yesterday that we saw a video about people robbing in day.
Yeah, the Chanel store in the Soho, right?
Yeah,
In the Soho,
exactly.
yeah.
We always see these injustices happening in the society, and we cannot make sense of it, right?
Yeah.
So this is the cave where we share those injustices, and you share also.
Yeah,
This is a place.
we are always open to your opinion and always open to your comments and thoughts. And definitely, obviously, your prayer. We need your prayer.
Yeah,
We
and your
really need
support,
prayer
please.
and your support, obviously. So we are not here to, let's say, people start podcasts to pursue their dream, or some follow like starts podcast or like video to earn money, but we are not here to do any of that. We're
Actually,
just
we are, but our dream is fulfilling the will of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala.
yeah, that's our main goal.
Yeah,
that's
that's the
the
goal,
primary
and then-
goal, and and anything that comes with it, we will definitely accept the blessings of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala.
Yeah, and if
We have no problem with
if
that.
we are able to make you happy or make you a little bit knowledgeable, or you
Yeah.
guys can make us knowledgeable or find our mistakes, and that
Definitely,
is from the
we
mercy
are
of Allah.
we are
Subhanahu wa
always open to your criticism because
comments, everything. Yep.
exactly, because we are human, right? We are human too, and we will gonna make mistakes. We're definitely gonna make mistakes, and these kind of mistakes will not be caught by us. If it caught by us, we are gonna edit it. Promise, guys. We are gonna edit it out. You're gonna see some cut in between, and then you will see something vanishes because, yeah, probably we will edit it out. But yeah, see, this will be edited out, right, Rahim? Probably.
Cut.
See, this kind of thing will be gone because this is our introduction, and we are just introducing you guys. And yeah, so that's about it. So as you can see, we are almost hitting the mark of like 15 minutes range. So few things like as you can see, spread the news that what we're going to talk about, and give us topics. We are hungry for topics, to be honest.
And give us ideas.
Exactly, what we can do differently. Do you want to see outside of the car sometimes, like outside
Outside
of the cave?
You want to say outside of the cave.
Yeah, sometimes in the future, probably
You want to
when
see the owner of the cave.
yeah,
Inshallah,
obviously.
we
We will
we'll show you someday.
Someday,
the owner of the cave.
cave will
Yeah,
be here.
it's not us though.
Yeah. Promise, guys. Like we are not that good, bro. We are not that good.
So
Okay.
tune in, support us,
Exactly.
and thank you very much for watching our video and podcast.
Thank you
This
very
is-
much, really. I
Yeah,
really
this has been a
appreciate
great.
that,
This is your host, the Mask Muslim.
And this is your host Shadman, and
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum
Assalamu alaikum
wa rahmatullahi wa
warahmatullahi
barakatuh.
wabarakatuh. Allah Hafiz. It is a wrap.